What's up, guys? Today it's going to be a super fun lesson. We're going to be going over a number of ways to play just different things over one chord progression. There's so much more than just straight playing bar chords or shredding solos. There's a million things that you can do that make playing a ton of fun, but also just gives you ideas. So let's dive in. If I take a simple chord progression, sounds something like this. Do it one more time. If I loop that now, think of the various things that you can do over that. One of the things that I want to give you right away, it's a really simple technique where you just take notes within the scale of the key we're playing in and you just put some reverb on them. It sounds something like this. I'll break it down after I do it, but turn my reverb on, play this, and I'm just going to play how it goes and walk through it. Okay, so that sounds super cool. Believe it or not, there's all kinds of little ear candy reverb pieces like that buried inside of pop songs, inside of kind of country songs, inside of praise and worship songs. So there's a lot of different things that you can use this for. What I'm doing though is I break that down. I'm simply taking notes, which in this case we're in the key of B minor. I'm playing a B minor 7 there. So if you're used to a pentatonic scale, and I'm just really just finding notes within that I like. Coincidentally, a lot of them happen to be within these chords that we're playing, and I'm just adding some reverb, turn the mix, which is like how much you're gonna hear, and then the decay really high, and you're gonna get a sound something like this. Cool part is you can't really hit a wrong note if it's any of that's gonna sound good. So you can have fun with that one for a long time. Really got the decay going there, but that's really fun. What's super cool too is you're gonna build on this. So now, rather than just take those, there's all kinds of things we could do. One, you could add a little bit of overdrive to it. Two, a lot of times you'll see guitar players live or on all kinds of songs you'll hear, like recorded versions, you're going to hear swells of that. So whether you decide to swell it in with a volume pedal, swell it in with just your volume knob, and when you swell it in, a lot of times it's not just the single note, but you're going to bend or you're going to do a release. So that sounds something like this. So if we play it, I'll use my volume pedal. So again, it's bending into those. All those sound really good, or if you're going to do a release, you just start with the bend and release it. So there's a million things that you can do with that are really fun. Try it with your taste. If you like it with a ton of reverb, if you like it with a little reverb, you can have a lot of fun with that. It doesn't take a lot of skill, but it sounds, I guarantee you start playing stuff like that, whether it's with an acoustic, another electric player, or a full band, that will work. Sometimes it's harder with a full band to know what to do. When you've got horns, keyboard, organ, piano, and guitar and bass, it's like, where do you fit in? That usually works, And if you're playing with just an acoustic or a keyboard player, that pad seems to always work. So that's one thing. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is chord intervals. I'll get into it. If you don't know the theory behind it, that's okay. Just understanding, if you know the chords, you're good. If you know the cage system, even better. It's a huge game changer. If you don't, make sure to check out that, because if you like this, you'll love that. But I have a video on that. But for now, just know that for each chord, so if I'm on like this B minor of this progression, there's obviously more ways to play this. You can play that all over the neck. There's 5 different ways, and then you can start looping them. So what I'm going to do is, instead of play the whole chord, because that's what the rhythm player's doing, I'm going to play an interval. So either the 1st and the 3rd note, or the 1st and the 5th note. I might do the 1st and the 7th, but most of these chords only have 3 to 4 notes, so it doesn't take long to kind of figure that out. So instead of all of them, it's a minor, 1 flat, 3, 5. I'm going to just take these 2, and then for the D, and then for that G, remember that's the 1st and the 3rd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to the 1s. So when you can do and then do a little like a, the ear starts to follow a different melody. And then maybe do a, it just adds a lot more color. And when you do that, there's all kinds of fun effects you can throw on. So I'll throw a little bit of overdrive. I'll even throw a little tremolo on there. And you can hear how cool when it's this is buried underneath a lot of songs, whether it's praise and worship, country, pop, singer-songwriter style, just a, and I'm just playing the ones we just did for ease, but what else is really cool and that's fun about this is it takes you into the next phase, which is kind of like fluttering back and forth, or instead of just playing the intervals, sometimes you don't have to play every single chord interval with every chord in this progression. You could just fade some of them in. So if we're ending on a G, then you could do another one. And what else is cool is you can play the root note and then do a little bit of lead instead of just one note. Something like this. Just know what that last note is. Again, all I'm doing is kind of feathering in those root notes with notes from the scale. And that's getting a little closer to a little more of like lead lines. It's not soloing, it's just pretty lead lines used sparingly, but I think you get the idea. It gives you a lot where you can take that one note in the reverb drone, you can take the intervals, you can weave them back and forth. They both work with swells, they both work with trem, they both work clean or on overdrive, and it's just going to add a lot more color to your playing. From here, we're going to take it to the next spot. You can do octaves, so it sounds something like this. And I wouldn't go all over when I'm playing that, but find some sort of a catchy cadence that you can repeat. Something as simple as just like that. And occasionally just weave that in, and you'd be amazed at how the listener's going to wait for that every fourth time. It just sounds kind of cool. Again, it adds layers. It keeps you entertained as a player, so you're not wondering what to do over rhythm all the time. So that's another option. If you liked this, be sure to check out the next lesson, because you're going to love that. That's where we're going to go deeper, and we're going to talk about a lot more variety and options. Do me a favor and drop me in the comments the style of music you're playing, and if it's with a one-man band or if it's with something else. It gives me content ideas to keep putting out there for you. But thanks for watching. Check out the next one. Don't forget, rock the journey, enjoy your journey, and we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks.